Oh, Moses Kuria. Okay. Okay, I thank you very much. Let the Nini take over.
Thank you very much, Dr. Buru. Na karibu sana, Waziri Moses Kuria. That's why you are hearing commotion. Can you just bring him forward slowly? Let me also recognize Governor Wanga. Let me also recognize Mama County, Ruth Odinga, who was not present when the family was introduced. And as Okay, I'll give Dr. Buru, as I told you, is the leader of the family. He'll invite the rest of the family.
Now, I would like to take this opportunity to invite my sister, Dr. Akinyi Wenwa, to come and speak on behalf of all the female gender in our family.
Hello? Oburu is taller than me. So, good afternoon, everybody. Please. Hello, I'm talking. Please keep quiet. I'm a teacher. I don't talk when people are talking. Please keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Yes, keep quiet. Yeah, this is, yes, my name is Wenwa Akinyi, or no, it's not Akinyi Wenwa. Wenwa Akinyi. Of all the girls in the family, I'm not the eldest, but I'm the first of the girls.
Excuse those behind there, can you please keep quiet? Please. This is a very solemn tribute to Jaramogi. Can we please have silence so that we listen to the speakers? Please.
So my name is Wenwa Akinyi, not Akinyi Wenwa. Please, it's not the other way around. And before I talk, I want to introduce my sisters. I know they had already gotten up, but I'm supposed to represent the Jaramogi's daughter. So please stand up wherever you are. I want to also correct, there are people who have been wondering why when you, oh my God, please keep quiet. Mr. Gina, I can see you. Yeah, please keep quiet, everybody. So so that we don't take much time. So a lot of people have been wondering why when you see pictures of Jaramogi's family or earlier life, that it's only us, yeah, my mother's children. It is not because of any discrimination. I want to tell you that a lot of people believe that Jaramogi was polygamous, but he was not really polygamous as such. My first stepmother was married after Oburu was already married. And in fact, my Oburu's son is older than our eldest step or half sister, who is also called Akinyi Walkowa. So let me introduce. So this is Akinyi Walkowa is the eldest, and by the time she was born, I was actually in Form 3. And Oburu was already married and already had a son. So you can see, and it was my mother's cousin. It's my mother who forced my father to get married again because people were laughing at her, saying she's a very jealous woman who cannot entertain or accommodate a co-wife. And so she brought her cousin and forced my father to marry her. Then, Akinyi Walkowa, that is true. That's true. So then my second stepmother, you've seen Susan. So the daughter is Anyango, Emily Anyango Dumpoda, and she's an MC in Kisumu County. There is Pauline Oginga or Kanyabondo. She's a chief officer of health in Mombasa. And now Nyakamami, my mother's last born, who is also the women rep of Kisumu County. So before I say anything, I'd like her to say something on behalf of the others.
I'm a bit shorter. I'm actually very short. Asante. Thank you very much. On behalf of Kisumu County, I would like to say, Karibuni Kisumu. This is RUTO Odinga, Mama County Kisumu. So you're all welcome. I'm the last, Mama County. Oh, there's the other Mama County, First Lady. You're all welcome, and I won't want to say much. I only want to say one thing. When my brother Buru stood here, he said that he talked a lot about his father. But I want to also say one, that if any of you want to see Jaramogi alive, look at me, from my hair to my toe. My Jaramogi muna no kani. Achal kode kadat mane oburu ji wacho no bure firstborn no buru chal kode. To baba ne wacho ne gani ni machal kode en choka cha made nyuol na go mana wuoyi. To kata kamano okakuodo wiye. Anyako bende ma pod thuona. Donga uyego. Wan tie wan magore gini pod magore to juoko ginga be an go. To juoko ginga wachona. Ni 2027 podumo neno mana wuodo Odinga moro kama dhi lido Kenya ka. Ero kamano uru Nyasaye mondo duoko.
Thank you. Thank you, Nyakamami. So there's Tabu. Tabu, can you just get up and wave to the people? Just wave to the people. Tabu Osewe, who's MCA in Kisiaya County and is the wife to the late Osewe. I don't know where Aquino is. You have already met everybody else. So let me just say a few words. I'm sure when I'm invited here, you don't want to hear about Jaramogi being a great politician, being a statesman, being a champion for the oppressed and all of that, because everybody has talked about that. I'm sure you all want to know his other life, isn't it? You all want to know how he related to his family and especially the girls. And a lot of times when people, oh please, why is everybody talking? Am I boring? Why are you all talking when I'm talking, surely? It's only a few minutes, just listen. So in church, people have always, Oburu and Raila have always explained how they were baptized using African names. And that Mzee was against European names. It was, and a lot of people mistake. They are saying that Jaramogi hated European culture. That's not true. Jaramogi loved European culture, he loved Indian and other Eastern cultures and other cultures. He just did not like people copying other people's culture when it is not yours. Yeah, so that's what he did not like. And a lot of people have all these myths about him. When I was in school, people would come to ask me that, oh, we hear your father turns into foam, he turns into a fly, he turns into this. And then you get surprised because I was living with him in the same house and I never saw any of those things. Did any of you ever hear those stories about him turning into foam and I don't know what, like soaps, foam and sabs and all that? Yeah, or in that, and carrying a dudabiye and all of that. So let me tell you, I want to say something about names. So there's a book which I'm writing, and I've written something about names. People don't know that the rest of us also had a struggle with names. Because most of us were jealous when we had people are called nice names like John, George, Elizabeth, Mary. And you are called, you don't have any of those names. So one time I toyed with the idea of Jennifer, and then I dropped it. So it never stuck. And all of us, except for Raila, all of us at one time or another, took on some European names, but we were too shy to let our parents know. So Oburu, I don't know whether they'll forgive me, but Oburu, when he was in Pehil, he was called John Dennis. He wanted... He wanted to impress his friends. Yeah, he wanted to impress his friends. I think even girls, especially girls. So Agola was called Barak Buka. And then my sister Beryl was called Jane Alice when she was in Nyakach Girls. But later she went to St. Francis in Mangu and she changed religion. She became a Catholic and then got baptized as Beryl. So that's her real name. Adhiambo did not need to take on any name because she was named after Ruth first. Yeah, so that is her name. So then later on, these three people were baptized, Raila, Oburu, and my father. The Legio Maria people came and baptized them. My father was called Nicodemo Odinga. And Raila was called Joshua Raila. And Oburu was called Caleb. So mine was the most dramatic because when I was going to Kenya High School, Mrs. Caroline Okelo Dongo, she was an African American, but she was also my father's PA, and she took me shopping. So when we went back to the house, at that time it was called Cabernet Gardens. No, it was called Archer Gardens, the present day Cabernet Gardens. So he looked at the list of the school and he said, I don't want these names. When you take her to school, can you cross these names? And he took a piece of paper and said, her real names are Wenwa, Asewe, Opondo, Odinga. Can you imagine? So I didn't think he was serious. Then I go to Kenya High School, and when we finished at the principal's office, she took out that piece of paper and said, I want to change her name. And so my name was quickly removed because I didn't tell you that the name I was using was different. Before I went to Maseno Girls, I called Raila and Oburu and asked them, what name should I take? And then they quickly had a meeting and said the name Roslyn. And I've never had such a sweet name. It was so sophisticated, so nice. So I changed everything. I was called Roslyn Akinyi. In Maseno, everybody there knew me as Roslyn Akinyi. So even when I went to Kenya High School, my admission papers had the name Roslyn Akinyi. Then my father went and my name was changed. So can you imagine? Kenya High School at that time was really, what do you call it? It was a typical colonial school. You know, there are all these school rules, there are table manners, respect your elders, you know, the pudding, you know, with custard and trickle tarts and I don't know what, jam tarts. And you can imagine that environment is where I went with a name like Wenwa, Opondo, Akinyi, Odinga. It was, I have never been so embarrassed. And the class teacher, whenever she was reading the register in the morning, when she reached my name, she would start, Wenwa, Asewe, Opondo, and then she would pause, yeah? And then continue, so that everybody started laughing. Can you imagine what I went through? And all my friends were having nice names, Agnes, Gladys, Jane, you know, sweet names. So later, much later, I managed to drop some of the names. So I stayed with Wenwa, Akinyi, Odinga, you know. Much later, I managed on my own way to. So we also had our own struggles, but it did not mean that he hated English names or English culture. It was just not our culture, full stop. So I want to stop there. I'm writing a book. Some of these things are in that book. So later on you will be able to read, if at all it is ever published. Yeah. But my mother died almost 10 years ago. That is in November 1984, almost 10 years before. So she's going to be 10 years in November this year. They met at a sports ground called Migwena in Sakwa, a traditional sports ground for Luos from all over Nyanza. And she was a pretty girl, and she was outrunning all the other girls, and he fell in love with her. And later on, he managed to get her. So I just want to request that please, our political leadership, can you people do something about Migwena? Can you develop Migwena, to bring it up maybe into a modern stadium or, a cultural stadium? And that's all I want to ask. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, on behalf of the in-laws, the daughters-in-laws of Jaramogi, I want to invite Minpin, Dr. Ida Odinga to come and say a few words. So, Ida, karibu. Minpin.
Hello? Hello? Are you happy? I'm also very happy. All protocols observed. And didu taman chen kuna neno ukena fuayo nu. Today is a very special day because I've been requested to say something about my father-in-law. 30 years ago, by the time my father-in-law was passing on, he had 4 daughters-in-law, were led by